How does our old friend Aaron Rodgers look?
Oh, he looks absolutely great. Wait, what do you do? Dot, dot, dot. Compared to what the Steelers had at quarterback the past 4 or 5 years.
We used to do
So,
that all the time. We used to do that for all the Aaron Rodgers practices. Yeah.
I mean, he's a breath of fresh air compared to, the no offense, Mitch Trubisky's of the world and the Kenny Pickett's of the world and so on and so forth since Ben Roethlisberger's been there. But, hey, you're right. I mean, he's looked good in practice. The arm's still there. The release is still there. The smarts are still there. Everything he has the offense down already. The only question mark is we have yet to see him in a live action game. Mike Tomlin went against his norm and didn't play him at all. He didn't play a lot of his offensive players, including DK Metcalf, in the preseason at all. So there's only so much you can glean from what you see in the practice, OTAs. Oh, not even OTAs. He wasn't there for OTAs. What am I talking about? Mini camp when he didn't even take part in that. So far so good. He's doesn't look like he's 41, almost 42. He does look like a guy that is healthy. He looks like he's reinvigorated, and he looks like he's ready to go. I'm not saying he's 4-time MVP Aaron Rodgers, but he's the best they've had in a while, and I think it might be just good enough to get him to at least the playoffs.
That is a thing that the Steelers tend to go to quite a bit. I mean, I haven't covered a Jets playoff game ever, and I started covering them in 2014. But you mentioned he looks pretty good. I think the big question mark that I had about him was his mobility. Now, year one with the Jets, which was 3 years ago at this point, he looked fine. Like there was no issues. He wasn't running around like he used to when he was in his 20s, but he had more than enough mobility to move within the pocket, could still escape. The Achilles injury took him back a bit, and then he was dealing with knee issues, hamstring issues, all that stuff last year, which basically made him only able to play from the shotgun. I have seen some clips that have come out from Steelers camp. I don't know if they were just cherry-picked, but he didn't necessarily look great moving around, looked kind of old at times. How would you gauge that athleticism that's there? Like, does he have mobility still? Is that there, or is he kind of now just a pocket passer?
Yeah, I think I saw the clip that you were referring to. And you know how it is in today's world. You look at it and say, wait a second, is this real or is this AI? I got to look at this a little quicker because I've never seen him like that in his month and a half at practice. I think that was definitely cherry picked somehow because I have yet to see him look that bad. I admit he looked terrible at that point when he was, I think, rolling to the left at that point. He's not going to get down the field and run the ball at all. I mean, he's not going to, lead the team in rushing. He's not going to break off a 60-yarder. They're not going to ask him to do that as well. He has just enough to be able to sidestep potential pressure, get outside the pocket a little bit, and throw it. I'm just, I would not go by that clip that you've seen. I think he is as healthy as you can possibly get from a 41-year-old, and I think the legs, I haven't really noticed anything about his legs that even look bad. He looks like to me, looks a little trimmed down a little bit as well. So he has been putting in a lot of work in outside here as well. So, yeah, I wouldn't quite believe that completely of what you saw on the internet there.
So last year, the Jets, as I'm sure you've heard, they ran the ball the least amount in the NFL. Arthur Smith obviously likes to run the ball quite a bit. I'm curious, what's been like seeing those two kind of mesh their personalities and styles, and what do you kind of envision as the identity of this offense with those two at the head of it?
Well, those two are getting along really good. I mean, Rodgers even said, it's getting to the point now where I can finish his sentences already. And I'm like, wow, you've only been really around him for a month or so right now. But hey, the Steelers want to run the ball. They want to run the ball. They got a very talented yet unproven and inexperienced offensive line. They spent a lot of money or a lot of draft capital on that offensive line. They got first rounder in Broderick Jones. They got second rounders in Zack, first rounder Troy Fautanu, but they haven't played a ton of snaps at all. Fautanu hasn't played hardly at all, and he was last year's 20th overall pick. They want to run the ball. They want to play action off of that. And the big thing they want to do is get the ball to DK Metcalf, not down the field, but some of these catching runs, crossers where he can catch and do his work in the middle of the field. And it's going to be hard to find 3-4 tight ends as as good as what the Steelers have right now in Freiermuth, Jonnu Smith, and all of a sudden 6'8", 310-pound Darnell Washington all of a sudden learned how to, catch the ball and be a force. I mean, I've never seen – every single time we talk to Aaron Rodgers, he brings up Darnell Washington, a guy that might have like 15 catches in his career, and how impressed he is with him. So there are going to be a lot of tight end heavy stuff. You're running off of that. You'll even see times potentially on Sunday where they go 3 tight ends, and the 4th tight end would be Jonnu Smith playing running back and toss it to him, and he runs the ball. That's how much Arthur Smith in this offense loves tight ends.
So it seems like the offense is creative, which is unique, because I know when Aaron was here with the Jets, he wanted just the most basic lineup, go and run it. You mentioned those tight ends. You mentioned DK Metcalf. I think we all know what DK can do, but I don't think you mentioned any other receivers opposite DK Metcalf. And I was looking at the guys, man. It's not much after Pickens got traded. Is it kind of just they're trotting out people out there and just saying, hey, we're gonna run the ball, we're gonna go to DK, we're gonna go to our tight ends, and we just hope that somebody steps up, whether it's Austin or someone like that? I mean, what is the situation opposite DK?
It depends on what time you're talking about here. Earlier in the season, they're looking for somebody to fill that number 2 hole. It never really materialized. So all of a sudden, they're in love with Roman Wilson, their 3rd-round pick last year, who played 5 snaps last year because he could just never get on the field. He was injured. Calvin Austin, who is a diminutive individual, but he's fast and he's tough, but he doesn't have a lot of experience as well as that number 2 type of guy as well. So there's going to be a lot of number 2 by committee, a lot of extra tight ends. And you can't forget a guy like Kenny Gainwell, too. They brought him over from Philly. They'll use him in situations as well. But as of right now, if you're looking who they're looking for Calvin Austin to step up to be that number 2, but they really are high on Roman Wilson. But you just can't. It's the whole thing that happened last year with him. They kept searching and searching and searching for that number 2 and never was able to do it. This is 2 years now, from Van Jefferson to Allen Robinson now to, they brought in Robert Woods, and he couldn't make the team because he was pretty much washed at this time. So they like what they have, but none of them have proven anything quite yet.
And I think you kind of alluded to this earlier with Joe Fatanu, and they have Broderick Jones, who ironically, like Jets fans were pissed when the Steelers jumped ahead of them in 22, and now Will McDonald is one of their favorite players. But I'm curious, what's your confidence level in those 2 guys as you go into the season? And they're going to be they're going against Jermaine Johnson and Will McDonald, who are pretty unique kind of defensive ends. So I'm curious what's your confidence level in those guys?
Yeah, I think Fatanu's he's a guy that's he's good. I mean, he don't even need to worry about him. He's has his sets down. He's powerful. He knows what he's doing. He's going to be playing the right tackle for the first time, obviously. Like I said, he was injured last year. I don't think there's much worry with him. Broderick Jones is moving from the right side to his more natural left side. He played left at Georgia, but he only had 11 starts at Georgia. He was extremely young. He's still extremely young. I think he's only 23 years old, and he has been not as good as he could have been on the right side, at least last year. A lot of it's been between the ears more than physically. So they're hoping to move him to the left. And it's a different offense than before. They want to do that old Denver outside zone stretch run and take advantage of those guys' athleticism. I mean, you're looking at Broderick Jones is now sub 300 pounds. He dropped a lot of weight, and he's extremely athletic. But that doesn't do you much good if, in the pass rushing thing. So if you're looking at the Steelers and you're looking where Jets could have a huge advantage, it would be trying to put pressure on Aaron Rodgers, which obviously he doesn't want, from the outside edges and the 2 guys you were mentioning, because it's still out on those 2 tackles right now. Now the interior guys are good. Zack Frazier at center is really good. Yep. Mason McCormick is good. Sayamalu, come from Philly a couple years ago, is really good. But that is still a big question, man. It's a definite problem going in until they prove it's not a problem.